So in the interest of separating the work among the three of us, I'm going to drill down on property taxes today. We got a lot of great things done, finally overriding the veto on fairness in women's sports and getting that passed. Passing and overriding the veto on the Born Alive bill. A baby's born alive as a result of an abortion is a human being, and it deserves the same health care you give to any other human being in that situation. So we did get a lot of stuff done, but I was very, very disappointed that we were not able to get tax relief for Kansas this year. We passed two bills, two major bills, Senate Bill 169, Senate Bill 8, and we were not able to override the governor's veto of those bills. There's a lot of great tax relief in those bills, including a flat tax, and taking tens of thousands of Kansans completely off of the tax rolls. They wouldn't have to pay any income tax, so that everybody across the state would see tax relief from that bill. We were also able to do a couple of great things with property taxes that the governor vetoed that we're not going to see this year. There was an additional $20,000 exemption of your property value from property taxes on top of the $40,000 that's currently exempted. So that huge valuation increase that we all saw here in Leavenworth County, 14.85%, would have just about been taken up by that additional exemption. As part of the expansion of the Homestead Act that Senator Tyson talked about at the Republican Party's town hall, 65 seniors, 65 years and older, we expanded the homestead exemption to allow more people to fit under that. It increased the house value $500,000, and it also increased the minimum or the maximum income to $80,000. So it would have fit a lot more. And it excluded Social Security from that calculation. So it would have excluded or would have included a lot more seniors in that homestead tax relief. Both of those bills were vetoed. We were not able to override the veto, so we're not going to see any tax relief. That's a $500 million in tax relief that we passed this year that the governor vetoed. I'm very disappointed about that, and I hope that next year we're going to be able to get that done. Another a measure that came through the Senate that I'm hoping we're going to see next year on property tax relief is the constitutional amendment to cap valuation increases that Senator Tyson ran through a committee, brought to the floor, and they passed. So I'm hoping that next year we're going to get that in the House and we can pass that so it'll be on your ballot in 2024. I hope and pray that we do that. I'm sure we'll have a hearing in the tax committee on it next year and get that through. But until we get those things passed, property taxes are going to be kind of on us. It's going to be on us as residents of this county to fight to keep our property taxes low. And another tool that we were able to pass 2 years ago, Senator Karen Tyson was instrumental in getting this passed as well, was the Truth in Taxation Law. What that does, you're going to get a letter in the mail here pretty soon that's going to tell you how much each municipal government, the county government, the city government, the school board, wants to raise your property taxes, and you're going to be told where the meeting is so that you can show up and you can object. But what Truth in Taxation does is it forces each of those municipal governments to affirmatively vote to raise your taxes. What used to happen, I've got this is the Saturday newspaper, it says administrator to work on a flat mill levy for 2024. You think, well, golly, that's great. The mill levy is going to stay flat. And then you get your property tax bill and you're, holy cow, my property taxes went up 14.85% because that's what the valuations go up. And that's half of the equation is how much the valuations go up. And what used to happen is you didn't even know when they were going to meet, and they didn't have to vote. They could just let the mill levy stay the same and not vote, and our property taxes would go up by 10-15% every year, which is what they've been going up. Well, now all these municipal governments have to meet They have to announce when the meeting's going to be, and they have to send you a letter saying this is when the meeting's going to be in order to raise your taxes. If they don't, or if they don't vote to raise the taxes, then the mill levy will automatically drop by the same percentage the valuations went up, so that our property taxes remain flat, so that that municipal government takes in as much as they do before. They did the year before. So, you know, I'm very sympathetic to the municipal governments. We're in the middle of skyrocketing inflation. We're in the middle of skyrocketing prices. We got a question the other day at the chamber update. Well, are you in favor of adjusting the revenue neutral rate for inflation? Well, no, I'm not. But I think that if our municipal government said, hey, property taxes or inflation's at 5-6%, we have to raise the revenue that we're raising 5 or 6% to provide the same services. I don't know about you, but I'd be personally thrilled with that, because my property tax has been going up by double digits every single year. So I think that there's a case to be made. The property taxes need to go up. But, you know, for the county, that's 14.85%. It's like $4 million that our property taxes are going to go up this year. I think that there's some happy medium, and I think that we need to show up and we need to make our voices heard, that we need some relief, because the skyrocketing prices are not just hitting the counties and municipal governments, they're hitting us. And so we're having to budget to figure out how to afford things with the same amount of money. I think that it's reasonable to ask our municipal governments to do the same. The reason I bring this up is because we've got municipal elections coming up. We've got, in November, we've got some great candidates. I encourage you to meet the ones that are here in the room for the school board, for the city commission. The school board, most people don't know this, half of your property taxes go to at least, it's more than that if you live out in the county, go to the schools, go to the school districts. And that's on top of the $100 million every year that the Supreme Court's making us give additional to the school district, to the schools every year, to the education budget every year. So, you know, there's room for them to take a haircut and keep our taxes flat for a couple of years. They've got, most of our schools in the district are sitting on really big reserves. So there's room to do that. And if they won't do that, then we need to find people who will do that. So I encourage you to talk to all these municipal candidates here in the room. Every one of them I know, and they're all tax hawks, and they're all going to try to keep your taxes low. So I encourage you to talk to them, get behind them, and help me go out and knock doors to get these guys and gals elected here in this next election.